Hey, folks, one of the Redneck Country Podcast. You're on with Real Redneck Todd Millard. And, of course, we've got the almost guy, Real Redneck Bill Tom. Bill, are you there?
I am here, and it's a beautiful night for a podcast.
Beautiful night for a podcast. And sitting beside me is Patriarch of Redneck Country, my father, Real Redneck Don Millard. Dad, is your mic hot?
It's hot. I'm here. Ready to go.
Let's rock and roll. It's going to be an interesting conversation tonight, I think, because we've got a few things that we did that last week, but tomorrow is a very important day in my household, at least. I'm not sure about yours, but tomorrow, what is it?
Well, it would be, but I've just been too stinking busy. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to bring it up.
Oh, it's coming up.
Well,
because
hold on.
Tomorrow
Because before you do that, I'm going to keep you in suspense.
I see.
Because I've kept Dad in suspense. So we did some shout outs, whatever you want to say.
Oh, yeah.
What are the kids saying these days?
Shout out.
Oh, Dad. The 73-year-old comes in with what the kids are saying these days. Shout out. So, yeah, we're going to give a shout out. So what I alluded to, I tried to look this up to pass it over to Dad. And then I thought, I'm going to say it on here instead and let him know on here, because he's like bugging me. Well, what was said about me? What was said about me? What was said about me? Who just said something? And so I won't mention the person's name, but we did get a message that said, and I am so neglectful on wanting to say this. I am procrastinating on wanting to actually say this, but they said, we love the podcast where your dad was telling the old hunting stories.
Hey, yeah, there you go.
Because it brought back memories of listening to my dad when he was telling us his hunting stories. And so I'm oh geez, Bill, you could uncage an animal right there.
Well, I'm all up for that. I love hearing them old hunting stories. Sorry. I agree with the listener. I think they're fantastic, and it's part of what our history is all about is remembering it, telling it, and making sure people hear it and understand it.
Yeah, that's what we started this for, right? Was I learned from listening to those stories. So, and then that's that. You're in the tree stand, or you're in the duck blind, or in your goose blind, or whatever it is, and you're about to give up, or you're going, oh, but wait a minute. I remember when Dad was talking about that story. That time he shot that buck, he was almost ready to throw in the towel, and it stepped out to his right. Just all happened in a split second. So I better keep an eye out to my right. I'm just going to sit here a little longer, and so that kind of that's what fuels you when you're in the stand and hearing those stories and then putting them to use, right? Or doing a drive, or how you set up your decoys and what worked for them, and Lake Mill Hill, where he put the plastic tarp down on a really dry duck season, and all of a sudden ducks came from everywhere in the middle of a field trying to land on this sheet of plastic because they thought it was a duck pond or a little bit of water in the field. So all of that, but can I say a but?
Yep.
I have heard these stories forever. And it's almost like he's got, I don't know, Alzheimer's, dyslexia, I short-term memory. We know that for sure, because it's the same stories every time. And I'll get into that when you say, what'd you do this week, Todd? I'll let you know. But yeah, so we had to give a shout out, whatever you want to say. And then I figured let Dad puff his chest a little bit, because they're like, we really like listening when your dad tells those old stories.
There you go.
Well,
So-
it couldn't have been any better when Todd puffed you up like that, but then he also beat you down at the same breath. Like, he couldn't let you have that little bit.
I don't think I beat him down.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you said he had Alzheimer's. You said it was the old stories.
I didn't say he had it. I said it's similar to.
Oh, I get it.
I could tell the stories. We don't need Dad. I could probably tell them better.
Yeah, it's no different than the time we had the podcast where your dad said, "Hey, I can cut out 25 minutes of this podcast because I heard that story 7 times already."
Yep. Got that right.
Those are the good ones, though.
Yeah, that's the good stories.
So anyway, sorry, Bill. What is tomorrow? Break it down.
No, tomorrow is, well, it's like my Christmas here. It's opening day of the bow hunt for deer hunt in our area, and I always take it off work, and sometimes I have some success, sometimes I don't. But I tell you what, it's always nice opening day of deer hunting season comes around, and we're got high hopes for tomorrow.
Gotta have high hopes. So I'm a little distraught because I've been so stinking busy that I'm not even ready. I'm not even going out tomorrow.
You're not even going out.
Not even going out.
I don't even know who you are anymore.
Right? I don't even know who I don't even want to look in a mirror. I just been too busy and I haven't had a chance. I got to move some stands. I got 2 brand new stands. I haven't even gotten out yet. I got a piece of property that we got permission on. We've never hunted.
You know what? Those all sound like excuses, because I tell you what happened to me this week, and I won't get into it too much, but we lost. And I'm still distraught over this. I don't know how much I want to bring. I'm not going to bring up too many of the details as to around it, but we lost our hunting property, where my brother TJ and I primarily do our hunting on up north this week. The Alliance. We have some property that we hunt that does not belong to the camp. We leased it from a landowner. Long story short, we now no longer have permission to hunt this piece of property. So when you talk about starting all over, being too busy and stuff, we are right down that path this year. And, that's for my rifle hunt. Now the bow hunt, I hunt on public land. So
you're good to go.
I'm good to go. I can't put up a stand. I'm not allowed in Simcoe County Bush to put up a permanent stand. So I go where I'm pretty sure that they're going to be, and I'm going to make things happen.
You're going to make it happen.
That's what my season's going to have to be all about this year, with the loss of the hunting property, with hunting on public land, going in blind to a couple different spots.
I like your optimism. Yeah,
I have no choice. I got to be optimistic, or I'm going to sit in just lay in bed and wish that I was out in the bush. But you can't shoot a deer from your bedroom, not at my house anyways. So there's only one way to go about this. It's to play your odds. Listen to the Redneck Country Podcast. Get all the tips that we've given out in the past. Put them all together and put them into a make it happen type season. So, starting tomorrow morning,
season all over again.
Going to be about.
Yeah. Right on.
So,
and I could go. I mean, we got stands and other pieces of property and stuff. I'm just not feeling ready. I haven't even really shot my bow much, so I don't even want to. I'm just, this is like the first deer season. I'm bleh.
Yeah, it gets like that too. I mean, life happens. You get busy and stuff like that. It's just where you want to go. And for me, like I said, I haven't even since turkey hunting season, I really haven't been out in that bush. I'm going to hunt tomorrow morning too much. I know they did a little bit of logging, but that's long since gone. And I'm going to sit pretty much in the exact same spot where I shot my turkey to start, and then just kind of hunt the morning.
So climber or tent?
No, I'm going to sit right in the ground. I got a ground blind set up. I got, my seat, my ozone generator system above me for wind control.
So
I got my apple concoction already built. So I'll be right in the ground.
You're taking your crossbow then, aren't you?
And I'm taking the crossbow.
Well, you might as well have a thermos of tea.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have a thermos of coffee. I'm going to switch it up tomorrow. I'm going to go with the Todd Millard system.
If you got coffee, you got to break out the compound bow. You got to grunt a couple times. You should climb a tree and just stand on the limb. That's what us men do. In fact, I've been even playing with maybe taking a longbow out and then just scaling up a tree and standing on the limb.
Yeah. With the amount of deer you have in your area, I'm sure you'd get one anyways. So, yeah. But I don't know. I'm optimistic. I think that, I'm going to hunt in the morning anyways. If nothing happens by about noon, then I'm going to make my way home and pack up my goose hunting stuff.
Yeah. So. And then what? And then what are you going to do, Bill?
I think what I'm going to do is take my son on the day before his 16th birthday on his first ever goose hunt.
Whoop, whoop.
So, yeah, he's pretty excited.
Well, that's good. Let's hope it works out.
Yeah. I think that he's, it's the experience anyways.
No pressure.
No, not at all.
Yeah, sure. Man.
We'll get one or two geese in and he'll be happy.
We got a lot to live up to now, don't we? Oh my gosh, I didn't know it was his birthday.
Yep, it's his birthday on Sunday. And we typically on the Saturday or his birthday, we'll go golfing or something he wants to do. And this year, it just so happened that we got the invite from you guys to come down for a hunt. And Yeah, he didn't even hardly blink, He says, well, as long as I can be back he's going to Canada's Wonderland for the haunt thing that they put on there with his buddies later in the evening. But I said, I'll have you home for that. But
right on.
So we'll be down for the hunting.
What time do you have to go back? What time do you have to leave here to go back, Bill?
Maybe 1 o'clock or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, noon 1 o'clock or something like that. So we have all the time in the world. And worst case scenario is I just drop them out there. So I have to drive right past Canada's Wonderland anyways.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You do.
Yeah.
So no pressure.
Maybe he'll be all ready for the hunt covered in goose blood. It'll be good.
Maybe feathers and blood, a camel. Yeah,
we'll just hand him a couple carcasses and say, there, throw them over your back. You're good to go.
Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting weekend. So that's kind of what we're going to do. Yeah. I guess we don't really talk about that much.
We normally don't because now that we got pressure now from Hunter and his birthday. B, you're coming all the way down, and C, now we have to admit we went goose hunting on the next podcast, whether successful or not. Normally we could just we didn't do anything this week.
Yeah, we just skim right over the fact that it was an almost guy hunt.
I'm confident.
Here we go.
I was out at 7:00 this morning, and I went scouting, Bill, and this field that I got lined up for Saturday had about 200 in it, and no exaggeration this time. They were up the.
Was there exaggeration last time? No. now the story comes out.
No, we weren't sure because we couldn't see properly, and we figured there was a lot in there. But this time I took the binoculars. I didn't have my binoculars, but this time I had my binoculars with me. And they were up the side of this knoll, on top of the knoll, went over the knoll, and side to side in the field. I saw them leaving, saw them coming in, saw them flying around. I could hear them from the road, and they were way back in the field. They were so noisy. They were there.
That's exciting.
So
is it a 150 decoy day to get these ones in?
I think it's going to be.
I think so. Yeah.
I was debating, Dad, if we do the family setup.
Well, you know what I was thinking?
Oh, here we go.
I haven't said this to you yet, but the last time we got into geese, there's always a nice flock. The wind quits. They swing around. They come in behind us. And then they come in from the side behind us where you can't shoot, and they land right behind us. So I got to thinking, there's going to be 6 of us. So I got thinking, I'm just going to turn my blind and face it backwards.
Oh, and good grief. You are not.
Yeah. I'm going to be ready.
And the first flock's going to come right in on top of us. He's going to be getting up and having to spin his blind around. Take the guy that has the hardest time getting out of a blind, the slowest to get back in a blind, and he's going to be out screwing around, swinging his blind. Happy birthday, Hunter. We screwed up 4 flocks right there.
No. If I'm facing the wrong way, there's 6 of us. That's 5 of you guys facing the right way. The first flocks in are always small bunches. They ain't going to leave. But that big group that comes in and circles, and then they come down, and you can hear the wings, and you can hear them hitting the ground behind you, and you think, oh my gosh, they're on the ground behind me. I am going to be facing them. And they're going to be
He's going to limit out.
They're going to be mine.
You're not going to have enough shells in the gun. You can only put 3 shells in. You know that, right?
I'll carry 6 2 birds. In my mouth. Once the gun is empty, it stays open. I'll grab one, throw it in, hit the button, pop another one. It's open again. Grab the other one.
Because the one thing that describes the patriarch of redneck country is speed.
Speed.
What?
Yeah.
Speed.
Yeah.
Speed and agile is the first thing comes to my mind.
I was thinking accuracy, but I mean, there you go.
Oh, yeah. So by the time he gets up, the geese have seen him. They're now flying away. Then he gets the gun mounted. He lines up. The first shot might hit a goose. Are you even going to pull the trigger on the second, third, let alone to have 2 shells in your mouth ready to load up into the...
Heavens, yes. I have gotten triples in geese. It's not unheard of. It's just that now we have 6 people. And so I don't shoot crossways. When it was just you and I've got lots of triples.
I let him think that. I was actually shooting 5 at a time.
You and I shot.
I dropped 2 with one shot, 3.
Well, you be quiet
in a flock.
You and I shot 20 geese one day, just the two of us. You didn't shoot them all.
Oh, and it was cold that day. We were looking for anybody wants some geese because our hands were frozen trying to clean them.
Trying to clean geese.
Yeah. And we skinned them at that time. But all right. Well, okay. So you're going to face the other way. I don't care about that. Do we do the family setup or do we do the big U?
Well, I've been doing my research and I've been looking at pictures. And I went downstairs today and I looked pictures. I was
going to say research isn't Google.
2009 and looked at the setups, and the ones with the big numbers were right in the middle of the setups, spread out.
Right in the middle of this.
Right in the middle. You look up the pictures.
So like a couple rows in front of us, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which is what I tried to tell you last time.
Yeah. And then they land.
But we got to be right on the front line. Deep Dad. They look right at us when you're on the front lines. Give them 10 yards.
They landed right around us and right in the decoys, right with us.
Yeah. Because you had 10 yards between each decoy.
And you had room between each blind too.
Well, all right. There you have it, Bill. If we screw it up, it's his fault.
Well, somebody's going to get some shooting. It don't matter.
Oh,
right.
I think it'll be. You got to change it up. If that's what worked in all those pictures, I mean, this is what we talk about, right? History. And when we're sitting in the tree stand thinking about it, well, maybe this is what we think about, changing the spread up, like to what the pictures say worked.
All right. So am I putting the big long lines out on that, Dad?
Well. When I looked at today, I was shocked that some of these pictures were 2016. I couldn't believe they were 5 years ago. And we did not have the big long lines. We had a pocket and we had, V's or
I've always had big long lines.
You look at the pictures and we had space between, and my gosh, we got a bunch of dead geese in front of us and they were landing right around us. I'll show you the pictures.
All right.
And this was 5 years ago. So, you know what? I don't know. We can do whatever you think, but
geez, that's not putting the pressure on me. All right. Well,
no
there
pressure.
You have it.
No pressure.
There's our thought process. Come Saturday. Now, I will say that Connor's all pumped, and this field sucks for covering up because it's wheat, but it's like the weeds have grown up, so it's green and not like wheat colored.
Oh, it's wheat. Wheat's up. The wheat's up 6-8 inches.
But is it not all green?
It's all green, but winter wheat is green.
It's winter wheat now. It was wheat the last time we were there.
It was harvested wheat. It's been replanted into winter wheat.
Well,
what was
the last time we were there? It was wheat with weeds. Now it's been plowed and winter wheat planted. So now it's green. So Connor is gone and he's grabbing as much weeds as he can from everywhere, and we might start brushing blinds in tomorrow night so that it's pre-brushed, and then taking a whack load more green with us the day of on Saturday morning so we could put it around the blinds.
Yeah, I stopped in this morning and talked to the farmer, and so he's all set with it. And I said to him, will you please hold it for us for Saturday? And he said, yep. And we've had this field for years, but it doesn't always have the crop that holds geese. But this year it's been good for us. And I want to make sure that we hold this field. So I said, what do we need to do to, be the first people in here? So we're going to get together. We're going to take them down something, maybe a bottle or a case of beer or something, and tell them that, hey, we just want to be able to drive by, see the geese and drive in. He says, sounds good to me. So we're good to go.
Oh, that's good. Do we drive or is it golf cart?
No, we drive. Time? This field was rock solid last time. It'll be the same. Well, It's planted winter wheat now. They okay with us driving on it?
It was last time.
I don't think it was.
It was. You look at the pictures. I should have brought them a show.
All right.
It was planted the last time, but the wheat just wasn't up as high. It's planted. It's up. The wheat's up, and them geese are in the wheat field.
All right.
What we did was we dug down underneath to get the old stalks that were already harvested.
Well, you raked. You didn't dig. Let's be clear.
We dug. We didn't rake in that field. You couldn't rake.
You didn't have a shovel. You weren't digging up crop.
We used our hands.
There you go.
We used our hands.
You say dug. Farmers go, you're digging up my crop.
No, we went down between the wheat
Joe
that
Biden
was
moment.
sprouting up and grabbed handfuls of it, and we found rows of it, and that's what we brushed in with. But we were the old dead stalks. We didn't pull the new green stuff. And now the new green stuff is even higher.
So we need green. So Connor, anyway, moral of the story when he's done is Connor's grabbing a whole whack load of weeds, going to fill a truck, and then we're going to brush the blinds in.
Perfect. We'll be down there early enough to help out. So.
Oh, yeah. No worries. No worries there. So what did you do this week? Do you want to go first, Bill?
Oh, dude, I can't say too much. I've had enough time already on the conversation here. But what we did do, I gotta say thank you to Sandra and her significant other, Steph.
Sandra Pollock.
Sandra Pollock and her significant other came down to Toronto International Trap and Ski Club, and we had a great time on last week past. Was Sunday actually. So they came down on the way to vacation for a week, wherever they were headed. Awesome. And we shot 3 rounds and we had a great time.
I've only met him a couple times. He seems like a pretty good dude, but I met him once.
He's solid. Yeah, great guy.
Oxford Sportsman Club. And I met him at the car show. Actually, they were there with their.
Oh, yeah.
So how was the shooting?
Oh, good. I mean, between the 3 of us, they were getting ready because I think they were going up to do some grouse hunting. And so he had his 870 pump, and he was trying, to get accustomed to that again with some field loads, and he did okay. I mean, he was happy with the way he shot. It took him a couple rounds, or it took him to the second round to get onto the birds with the gun. But the whole point of the exercise for him was to get ready and create that sight picture for when those birds are flying up in front of him. But between Candace, Sandra, and myself, we had our trap guns, and we were hammering birds or pigeons. So yeah, we had a good time. I think I shot a 23, 22, and maybe a 20 or something. I don't know.
So you're feeling better now.
What's that?
Starting to feel better.
You know what? It's starting to come around. I mean, I'm starting to not think about it as much as I was, 3-4 weeks ago. But at the same time, I did try a couple new things on my second round, which worked out better. I typically would hold a little bit longer on the house before I pulled, or I yelled pull, just to make sure the gun was fit. And I'm getting more comfortable putting the gun up, looking down, and yelling pull, like maybe a second faster, if that makes any sense.
That's a lot of time when you're doing that. A second.
Yeah. So, and that to me made a difference because now I'm not thinking about it before I'm calling for the target.
But are you looking out past 20 yards past the house?
Yeah, no, I still do the soft focus thing, but I'm able to get that soft focus faster, like to get my eyes to kind of focus on about 20 yards out for a little bit faster, and I can pick that target up quicker. I seem to on Saturday, anyways. Targets were perfect to change it up a little bit. So. Yeah, we had a good time. Candace broke, I think, 21. She and Sandra did the same. She was smashing targets, blowing them up, making them disappear in front of her. It was great. We had a great time. Shot 3 rounds altogether. We were there for about, 2 hours between walking around. I showed them the international or the Olympic bunker. They were kind of having a mini tournament or competition there. So we watched that for a bit, and so we had a great time.
Right on.
So, thank them very much. I really appreciate them making the trip up and coming up to our home club. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Well, yeah, and then this weekend we start our inter club or inter county. So we're just getting ready for that one.
Hey, you do have a busy weekend.
Yeah. So I don't think I'll be shooting that. I'll shoot the makeups for that one because it's Hunter's birthday on Sunday, and that's when the first inter club is. So
gotcha.
There you go. So that was my week.
Righto.
Sounds good.
Yeah, your turn. What's going on in St. Thomas land this week? Flip a coin. Either one of you start off.
Who are you talking to? Who gets to
you
go
both
first?
live in St. Thomas. You flip a coin. Whoever have an arm wrestling match. Whoever gets who wins it can go first.
Then we're going to be down a gun, but it's okay. He'll be facing the opposite way.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Had a good week. First of all,
here we go. He's got to pump up for it.
My buddy Bill. There's always something going on. I am busy. I'm telling you. I don't know how I ever had time to work. I'm not kidding. I just never get bored. It's just I wish I could get bored once in a while. Anyway, my buddy Bill borrowed a muzzleloader to go on his first deer hunt last year, and so this year he said he wanted his own. So Todd and I went with him, and he bought a brand new Traditions muzzleloader that takes the new federal fire sticks. And so he is really happy.
Have you seen these?
No, I don't think I have.
So it pretty much instead of dropping the powder down the muzzle and having a breech plug and all that crap, right? This thing break action opens like most muzzle loaders do, but the chamber is wide open. There's no breech plug because it's built to take these federal fire sticks that then it's just a plastic sleeve with 2 of those powder charges in it for 100 grains. They also make them in 120. And then it looks like a plastic shotgun shell almost. You put the 209 primer in the back of it, and then you just slide it in.
You put the 209 primer in the back of the
plastic casing.
Shotgun shell thing.
Yeah.
So it's like a
shotgun shell. You're loading, but your load, like you still gotta load the bullet from the muzzle, so it's still a muzzle loader. And it's still black powder, right? It's the 888 is what's in it.
It fouls less because
the plastic's protecting it where it really heats up.
And you don't have to try and that breech plug doesn't seize in there. You don't have to worry about getting it out.
And you don't got to worry about making sure it's clean, the little pinhole where it fires the spark down from the primer. And
you just open it up, take out that expended powder case, and now you can clean it like a shotgun right through from one end to the other with a ram on.
So that plastic piece obviously
if you clean
doesn't go through the barrel like a wad does.
No.
Oh, no. It's like a shotgun shell.
It's just
all it is it ignites, just boom, and pushes that bullet.
You open the gun and pull it out, and the bullet's gone. So if you want to swipe it between each round, you can swipe it right through from either end. And
isn't that interesting?
There's no jamming the bullet down and say, did I put the powder in? Because you open it up, is the powder case there or not? You know right away.
That's pretty slick.
Yeah.
It is slick. You get a scope on it too. And
came with a scope combo.
Came with a 3x9 variable. Yeah. Really nice gun. Really nice looking gun.
You guys have a chance to put a few shots through it? Or
no.
Just buy it?
Everybody's sold out of the fire sticks.
I had to order them online today for them.
So they haven't come.
They're on their way.
Speaking of online, my 7x7 by 7 feet high cabin blind is shipped.
It's on its way.
It's on its way.
That's
the
awesome.
Booner Thunderdome.
So now I just got to figure out how I'm going to get it up in the air. So.
And so I'm gonna self plug, but not intentional. Millard Outdoors is now a dealer of such. We've ordered 5 of them, right? And they're coming. And so Dad's got his. I just got a call today from another company out of Wisconsin, I believe, that makes the covers for them. They seen that I was a new dealer, and so they gave me a call and asked if I would. So they were looking, Dad, to see if we wanted to be a demo for this cover. They said it's an insulating camouflage cover. And so instead of having to brush it in or just leave it as dark plastic up on a stilt, it's a full-blown insulated camouflage cover, goes over, fits it perfect where the windows are, shoot through windows if you want, and the whole 9 yards. So we might have to look at that as well. I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah,
but
that's cool.
And then he said it's insulated, so it doesn't take much to heat the thing, and it will hold its heat. So you save propane if you're using a propane
to be out
heater.
Of the wind and the rain.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you got to get your kid there to help you and take the time to put it up.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It could be next year by the time you get this thing up.
Oh, jeez.
Well, we got the month of October, so I'm hoping it's going to be in place.
I still got 2 stands to move.
Yeah, I'm excited
2
about
to put
being
out, which
able
makes
to
4 to put out.
Take my swivel chair so I can swivel around in there, 360-degree view, and I can stretch out my bad leg. And I won't have to keep it cramped up.
This company also stated that they make a rocking chair for hunting that they recommended.
I've actually seen one of those at Cabela's, and I was very tempted to buy it for the hunting shed deck. It was a camouflage rocking chair that was like a fold-up type thing.
That's how we made it. We've built it. The whole goal of this company is comfort while hunting.
Yeah. Well, the Taj Mahal is a thing of the past too, by the way.
And I said, yeah, so.
Is that on the property you lost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's too bad because you used to talk about that every year.
I know. I was downstairs doing my workout today. And I was looking up at the deer skulls I had, and it just made me sad because the 3 skulls that were there were from this property. So, but anyways, no point crying over lost property, I guess.
It's going to happen more. It's going to.
If this one works out and I like it, I'll have another one for next year. So I'll have a choice of where I sit.
The kicker now, we got to build a big stand for it.
Yeah, that's all right. So. You figured it. I mean, that's good. I'm glad you guys are able to get some of those on order, and with this COVID stuff, things are longer lead times. Hopefully, you get it in time.
Yeah, well, they told me 12 to 20 days, and then they're going to be here maybe a bit quicker. So I'm pretty pumped.
Good deal.
And I'm looking forward to trap shoot. I'm going to trap shoot it for a couple weeks.
I think that's trap shot. If you're just going to give a shout out,
whatever. I haven't shot trap for a couple weeks because 2 weeks ago was when the storm came through. You couldn't even go outside. I mean, it was dangerous. It was bad.
Dangerous.
It was dangerous. Everybody was calling. Are you guys in the basement? Are you in? I said, no, we're standing out here in the front door watching it. Get in the basement. No, but it was bad. So we didn't. I mean, there's no sense in even shooting in that. And this week there was a big thing going on at the club that we would have never got a trap. So my nephew, who moved away to Calgary when he was younger, he was at Todd's wedding. And on Todd's wedding day in the morning, instead of a bachelor party the night before, the morning of the wedding, we had a trap shoot. So
they surprised me.
Yeah.
Woke up to like 80 boxes of shells loaded, and the whole wedding party and family and friends all embarked on the gun
back
club.
When we were still loading, and I made sure that everything was loaded, and of course the wedding party, the guys in the wedding party, and his friends, and my nephew, and everybody that was going to the wedding. The
guys, there had to be 20 guys out there, I bet.
We went out to the gun club. We had the gun club exclusive, and we shot trap all morning.
Well,
That's
and then,
awesome.
So there's more to that story, Bill, because it's my wedding day.
I finished mine with my nephew.
Oh, of course.
My nephew borrowed one of my trap guns and did pretty good, and he loved it. Well, then he moved to Calgary. Well, 2 weeks ago, he moved back. Since then, he's been married. He's got 2 kids. His son has never, how old's Bootjoy now? Maybe
12, 10, 11? 11.
He's
11?
never shot trap, never seen it. And so I said to Matt, well, the next time we go to our club, you and your son come along. So he's all excited. His mom told me, my sister-in-law, oh my gosh, that's all he's talking about. He can't wait to go trap shooting again. So this Wednesday, hopefully it'll be a nice day and take him out trap shooting and with Bill and Todd, and we'll have a good time. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's what I started to say. But on the day of Todd's wedding.
Oh, can I tell that now?
Yeah, well, you're going to cut me off anyway, so I'll get a little bit into this.
You get it started.
He had to be.
This is a good story.
He had to be back home.
Wedding was 2:00.
He had to be back home to get ready for the wedding. So the wedding party had to leave, and I had tons of stuff to do. So I said, okay, some of you guys are just coming to the wedding. Some of you are in the wedding party, but whatever, you guys got to get home and get ready, get into your stuff. And I got to go now. And because I've got stuff to do even before that, and make sure who's giving Todd a ride. I'm like, somebody give Todd a ride. Yep. Get him back so he can get dressed. So I left.
So,
well, lo and behold,
the guys wanted to go shoot skeet.
Lo and behold, he never showed up to get dressed.
Whoa, hold on. You're ruining the whole story. Like, spoiler alert. That's how you tell a story, right?
No. You can tell what happened.
So, regardless, the guys wanted to shoot skeet after we were done shooting all the rounds of trap. So I'm like, yeah, we got time. Let's go shoot some skeet. So some folks left. but a bunch of us went down and, skeet. It's fun, right? Like you're hanging with a bunch of like a big group. And so we shot a couple rounds of skeet and then it was time to go. Well, I got to close up because I knew what I was doing out there. Like I was on the board in that. So I know I got to close up and make sure that the hydro's off to the machines and they're uncocked and the high house and the low house are all closed and locked up. So, okay, well, my best man's there and all the guys in the wedding party, my brother-in-law's there and a couple others. And so I go in and I go up in the high house and I lock it up. I go down and I lock up the low house. I come out of locking up the low house and the last freaking vehicle is driving down the lane. And I'm running after it and chasing this thing down going, hello, you got to stop. Well, this guy, he's like, well, he lives out in the country. I got to go home and get ready. Dude, you're getting ready to go to my wedding.
Yeah.
If you don't get me home, there's nothing for you to go home to get ready for. So all right, well, I guess so. So he gives me a ride, which is the opposite way he's going. Well, I show up. Well, there's my best man. There's my brother-in-law. There's Dad's nephew, my cousin. They're all already decked out, set, ready to rock. And I walk in and Dad goes, where have you been? Good grief. Everybody else is ready, waiting on you. We got to be at the church in 20 minutes. Blah, 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 blah. Well, if the best man, my cousin, and my brother-in-law all didn't drive away and leave me out there, I'd have been here. So yell at them, not me, as they're sitting there already decked out in their tuxes going, where you been, Todd? Yeah, at the gun club with no freaking ride. Not cool, Bill.
Yeah, I got some good pictures of that.
That's funny.
In fact, I got one blown up on my wall. It's really good. I really like it. Todd and I just crossing as we're changing stations on the line.
I have that picture downstairs. I got it too on
Yeah.
the wall. Anyway, it's a good day.
Yeah, that was a neat thing to do.
Yeah, there's nothing better than to do that. My dad, I think, when he got married, he went grouse hunting with my grandfather for his on his wedding day morning.
See,
I don't even know.
Right.
I don't know if he got anything or not. I never asked him that.
No, it'd be all right. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah. Anyway,
so are you done?
not yet. I'm going to lead into Saturday.
Oh, of course.
Anyway, the weather was so bad the whole week. I mean, we got torrential rain. Everything was flooded. In my block alone, I know.
He talks like we live in Louisiana or the Gulf and down in Florida or something right on the coast.
Yeah, this, I've never seen it like this. In my neighborhood alone, 5 neighbors that I know of were flooded out of their homes.
The hardware store was all out of plywood, but not only because they're building new subdivision here.
Jeez. Anyway, they were flooded out. They lost their furnaces. They lost their hot water tanks, their washers, their dryers, everything they had stored. After the water went down, they had 3 inches of raw sewage in their basements.
Oh.
Thinking, and right today, I walked, and this is like a week later, I walked around the block, and I know them all, and every one of them has big dumpsters in their laneways. They have big storage bins in their laneways to store stuff while the renovations are being made. And there's renovation trucks up and down, restoration trucks up and down the street. Like, it was really bad. And so I was driving around looking for a place to hunt geese for Saturday, geese or ducks, because ducks opened as well. And every farmer said, yeah, but not this weekend. Way too wet. Can't get out there this weekend. Don't even want you walking on.
Yeah, he's talking about last week, to be clear, for opening day of duck.
Opening day. That's what was happening to me. Nope, not. So we didn't have a goose field. I found fields with geese in them, but farmers just didn't want us. Like, everything was flooded. It was wet. Didn't even want us in the fields. Just said, no, it's not going to happen this weekend. So we decided to sit on a pond for the morning, and we hadn't scouted it out. We didn't know anything about it, but it typically holds a few ducks. And we thought, it's going to be a slow morning, but what the heck? If we go in early, scare some ducks out of there, I'll be happy knowing that there's ducks in there, and just wait for them to come back and see what happens. It's just going to be camaraderie. And so we went in, and you want to take over from there?
I can. So my
will
turn
anyway.
Now? My turn now?
Yeah, I might as well give it to him.
Yeah, I mean, I won't tell it right. I know where I want to start, but he'll say, no, don't start there.
First off, we weren't sure how well it was going to go because it's a buddy of ours has a dam there, and the dam had let loose because of all the rain. So he went in the Friday night before opening day of Duck and rebuilt the boards for the dam.
And I was there that afternoon.
It was dry.
I'm sure that there was going to be water there.
And so it was flowing so much from the dam above that it was completely full again by the time we got there the next morning. So
that's too bad.
He said that there were ducks in there. It wasn't completely empty. The dam had let go. So it wasn't completely empty. So what he did was decide to put all new braces and all new crossboards in 2 sections of this dam. So he pulled them all out. So now it was just down to the original stream.
Yeah,
but the
it was
original
dry.
stream was still running water. And so when I was there, he was just having everything. He had a couple of guys cutting and he was placing. And he said he'll have everything placed in an hour. And in 70 minutes, it'll be full. There's so much water coming through there. And it was.
So let me tell you, Bill, I have talked about the fishing kayak, the battleship that I built, and how awesome it is for bass fishing. But
yeah, this thing was built kind of with that as a primary purpose, but you had a secondary thought.
And so the best invention and possibly the best investment on top of that I've ever done is this kayak. Because let me tell you, it's so wide, 43 inches wide. It's so stable. Anybody listen? New Canoe Frontier 12. It's a wide open deck. I mean, they make fishing kayaks that are more money and got, more bells and whistles, that they're thicker and they're stationary seated. You can't move your seat up and down on track rails or anything. They're built for fishing, like a Hobie PA, whatever, like a $7,000 fishing kayak. But this is modular. So they built it for fishing, but it's also can be used for hunting. They make a hunting blind for it, but I didn't really need it. I bought the camo one and I'm wearing camo. And so I thought, well, I'm just going to take it down. And then we got a boat at least to retrieve the ducks. We're going to need it. Well,
yeah, for sure.
I'll tell you what. So snuck that in. Well, as ducks, you could see them on the other side. They'd come in. I could float over and sneak them. Now, I wasn't as agile and quiet as I should be because wood ducks are pretty freaking weary. So sneaking them on a really still dam with bulrushes is the only thing between you. It's a little difficult, but I was able to retrieve Dad's big Canada
spoil alert
that he may have shot. We'll get into that. Yeah, but it's the story that goes with it that makes it. I mean, everybody whoop-de-doo, you shot a goose. Ooh. Anyway, so Dad could tell that. So opening day, that was it. It was a little bit of a bust for the ducks. We put 3 out when we first got there.
More than 3.
I only seen 3.
Connor and I saw more than 3. They didn't all go out at once. So there was 6 or 8, and they all went out kind of different intervals because we were there in the dark, and it was just getting light. We weren't worrying about being there way before light. We wanted to scare them out and get them coming back. But the big deal was the water, even though the dam was back in place, that it usually trickles over the dam.
Oh, it was moving.
Because of the week before and this being so flooded and so wet, it was 6 or 8 inches of rushing water over the dam. So it was really full. And to get where we wanted to get around the pond, you had to walk over this 12-inch cement, I don't know what you'd call it, just like well,
it's the dam.
Yeah, like it's only, but it was up in the air too. This thing is a 12-inch square piece of cement that goes from one side of the cement dam to the other side.
I'm certain there's a beam in there. It's concreted over.
And you had to walk over that. Well, I mean, I used to take the kids fishing in there when they were small. Todd and his sister, we used to go in there fishing when they were really small. And then I'd go back by myself. I never let them walk across this, but I'd just straight out walk across it, get the other side, and I'd fish bass and stuff. And so I walked up there, and Todd said, "There's no way you're going to walk across this."
Oh,
and I said,
if you fell off, he can't walk a straight line on a laneway.
Oh, I can.
Yeah, flat surface laneway. You're going to balance beam this thing across with rushing water that looks like Niagara Falls. One little oops. It isn't like, oh, Dad fell in and got wet. It's, Dad's dead. I mean, Mom may praise us, but it ain't going to be good any other way. Well, I don't know. Maybe I inherit a bunch of guns.
Bill, when I walk, and I walk a lot, you know that.
Practice. Practice walking in a line.
So when you walk, there's a curb on the road, and then there's about a 12-inch piece of cement that goes out to the pavement along the edge of the curb.
You do not walk on these curbs.
Yes, and I practice, and I say, I'm on the dam. I actually do. I'm on the dam. And I can walk.
See, I can respect your preparation in doing
2 blocks without stepping off.
I watch some people do that. I'm thinking, you're pretty freaking senile. Look at this wacko walking the curb like they're 3 years old.
Yeah, I can walk that piece, and I can do it for 2 blocks without stepping off.
Yeah.
Confidence,
but there's not rushing, raging water that drops 50 feet straight down in concrete at the bottom.
But it's a little different, when that's there. But I was doing it.
So I said, "There's no way you're crossing that." Because
so he says to me, "Come on up here where there's a nice edge getting in," because we needed to be up.
Look at him cut me off.
And around
Who
the
is
side.
this
You're
guy?
darn right. We needed to be up and around the pond, under the trees, around the where they usually sit. When they come back, we needed to be there.
Yeah, you still got to be where the ducks want to land.
Yeah. So he says, "Come on, you come with me. We'll get you in the kayak here." And I said, "And the kayak is safer than me walking on that cement." I've been in the kayak.
You went in that thing again?
Yeah, I've been.
You're braver than walking on cement pieces.
So he says, "No," and I have my hip boots on.
Which would pull him down.
You might as well. You should have put your chest waders on if you're going in that thing again.
Well, I walked out just over my knees. Got in, sat down, and of course he steps in and it rocks. And that, with my experience, that scares me. That scares me. Whoa.
No, it wasn't. Yeah. Whoa.
And I'm grabbing onto the side. He said, "Will you be quiet?" And he paddles across, and we're going across the deepest part. I gave him a freaking
gondola ride for Pete's
sake. I know where the main water flow is. I saw it yesterday afternoon. I know where the main water, the deepest part, and we're going across. And I said, "Okay, don't be going way up where you want me to sit. Get me out of this thing as soon as possible. Cut right in there at that low spot. Like, I don't want to be in this boat any longer than possible. Cut it straight across there and let me out." And so when he stepped out, it wasn't as bad as I thought. He didn't rock it too much. And then he pulled it up where it was solid. And I thought, oh, thank heavens. But you know what? I sat there worrying the whole time I sat there. Well, I got to do this to get back.
Good grief.
I got to get in.
You could have walked out the other way to the next concession.
Oh, yeah, I could have. But
you walk all the time. I mean, what's the big deal?
We sat there. There was, 4 of us. We sat there, Michael, Connor, Todd, and I, and we got 2 duck chairs that you sit in, and they camouflage.
They are pretty cool.
Right over you.
So like those camping chairs that fold up and fit in a bag, right? Picture that, camouflage, but then it has a hood and then mesh, like a deer blind mesh that comes down over you on a hinge. Like it's almost like it's spring loaded. It's not, but it moves really easy. And it comes right down over you on the ground, like a tarp almost. And then a square is cut out in the top, but so you can stand up and shoot.
It's not like a deer chair or a turkey chair where everything's open at the front. It's right up over your head, and you're looking up through a hole in the top, and there's a piece at the back, and it's mesh, but there's another hood inside the mesh hood that goes right over you that you can slide up over your head,
so they can't see the movement.
So you can't even see through the hood, through the mesh and over your head. And then you can see through the mesh, and there's an opening that you just stand up through the opening. You put your gun up and stand up. They are actual duck chairs.
They're pretty cool.
I bought a pair of them, and Todd and I have used them, and they work great. And I thought, you know what? We have people go with us. We need more than 2. Do you think I've ever been able to find them again?
Oh, you didn't tell me you wanted more. I'll find them before the end of the podcast.
No, I'll bet you won't, because you can find.
Well, how long the podcast going to be?
You can find deer chairs. You cannot find these duck chairs. I have looked and looked, but they're cool. So anyway, Michael and Connor sat in them. I also have this 6-foot high accordion style blind that we stretched out in front of the trees and stuck in the ground. And Todd and I sat in chairs behind it. Now the ducks never came back. We sat there. We were visiting. We were having a good time. It was a beautiful morning. With good company.
I'd go out every now and then in the kayak just up around the corner to see if I could flush any.
See if anything was moving around.
Ride and he'd go to the bridge and come back again, and it was cool watching him going paddling in through there. And he's got all kinds of confidence. I don't, but he does.
Oh, come on.
So anyway, we're sitting there. Well, he's out in the kayak and he disappears around the corner, and then he comes back around. He's just coming back around the corner of the trees about, I don't know, how far were you?
50, 60. I wasn't that far, I don't think.
Well, anyway, 60 yards or more away from us. And we hear a couple of geese. We hear them coming. And they're coming from the east. And they're coming straight at us over the trees. And they appear over the trees over Todd. And Connor says, there they are right there. Well, Todd's out there. His calls are sitting next to me in the chair, but I've got my own calls.
Well prepared again.
Yeah, but I got my calls. So anyway, they come over the trees. So I get on the call and I give a couple calls, and they turn now and come right at us. They were going to look like they were going to fly to the right of us, but they turn and come right at us.
They're pretty high though.
They were over the trees coming. They got over Todd. And he takes a shot.
I wanted to so badly see what this kayak's going to do when I'm in the swivel seat, elevated up on top, and I pull the trigger on a 3.5-inch shell. But I took my time. All right, make sure my feet are my feet are stable. I'm wide enough. I've got my body spread. By the time I do that, these geese are almost past me. I'm shooting straight up in the air, but that kayak, Bill, it didn't move. I didn't even know I pulled the trigger.
If I was in there with him, I'd be saying, put the gun down, don't shoot.
Didn't even rock it. Didn't even know there. I don't even think there was a little bit of wake come off my kayak.
Isn't that interesting? I figured you would have listed all over the place.
I'm telling you, this thing is the best investment I have made. You are not going to stop me now from dropping it in the creek and just floating down.
These two geese flared. I mean, they did the old wingstall flare, dippity-doo, when the gun went off, and they separated. So I got on the call, and they came back together, and they come right at us, but over the trees. And where I am sitting behind this big maple tree with the pine trees around me, I am looking up through the branches, and I get a glimpse of them coming, the pair of them. One's just to my left, and one's going to be right over me when they come, but they're flying side by side. And I said to Connor said, "You're going to shoot?" I said, "I'm going to take a shot because this is my shot.
So high.
Straight over me high, right? This is my shot.
This is my shot."
So I bring the gun up and I'm following him. There he is through the leaves. Oh, I can't see him now. Oh, there he is. Okay, here's an opening. Yep, there he is right in the opening. And I brought the gun right up to his tail. I swung through his body. I kept swinging. Now he's gone past the opening, but I just kept swinging to where I figured he'd be because it was just all one motion. Boom, I shoot. Now the other one is out to my left and he comes out from behind a limb going over me. And I thought, okay, I'll swing to that one. And I swung to that one. And as I was passing him, I was actually leaning far back in the chair before I got to the point where I could shoot that I couldn't get in front of him. I shot, but I couldn't get in front of him. And I almost tipped the chair over. And Connor's yelling, good shot. And I said, why? Did that first one come down? Are you kidding me? It's laying right there in the water in front of you. Down better than a doorbell. Right through the leaves. I took the branches and leaves out of that tree, but I was right on with the swing. And he was laying right there in the water.
Okay. That's the old one-shot smackdown. I was right. The defining characteristic of Don Millard is accuracy. And
Todd comes paddling in with the kayak by this time, and he says, did you get one? Connor says, yeah, your dad made another amazing shot. It's laying right here.
Listen to his description, the pronouns.
And then Todd says, well, who grabbed my calls? And I said, that wasn't your calls. That was my call. I was using mine. Are you kidding me? That actually sounded like a goose. So I had two highlights.
Because normally he sounds like
for you in the kayak.
I shouldn't have, but I did.
So anyway, he went. So anyway, Connor says, hey, the owner of the mill and his family. Is that the duck chair?
No, that's the deer chair.
Yeah, since I told you, you can't find what we got.
Oh, well, you give me time. Carry on.
He still didn't find it. So anyway, up his house sits up on the hill south of the pond, and he's got this big deck that looks over the pond. Well, they're out watching now because they heard the shots. They're out. Connor says, "Hey, look, they're watching." So I waved. He waved. Todd paddled up, picked up the goose, and held it up, and they gave a clap or whatever, and they went back inside. But that was the only thing we got. But I was happy. We weren't skunked.
That's good.
So I had a couple highlights.
That is a couple highlights. It makes it exciting when you can at least get some shooting in. And
making that shot, and then telling Todd telling me I sounded like a goose because 2 nights later he's telling me I didn't. Like he's telling me
he messed up again.
Away.
I don't know what he did. I don't know.
He is pretty judgmental at times. So when you can get a compliment
just
from him,
honest.
I think you're doing all right.
Just honest.
It's honest. It's just an honest.
I just tell it how it is. So I said to Connor, hey, so we need to come back now because we were on the shore and we did see some ducks come drop in the weeds, but too far to shoot at. So I said, we need to come back in our kayaks and just sit in the bulrushes in the kayaks. So we did. And I will tell you, we sat there. And the problem is because all the fields are so freaking flooded right now, or at that time, opening day of duck, like the farmers weren't letting you drive in them. On our way, they're everywhere, living in the fields, right? They're sleeping. Heads are tucked under their wings in the fields on the edge of those little puddles that are everywhere. So we weren't very high hopes that they were going to come in, but we got buzzed a couple times by wood ducks, but really high. And so we sat there, watched a flock of geese go out. And then 4 minutes before legal shooting time, I seen 4 come flying. Kind of say, here they come. We see the silhouettes because we only got 4 minutes. It's dark. So we see them coming. So we get ready. Well, they circle and land out away from us. So I said, well, I'm going to go. We got 4 minutes. I'm going to see if I can ninja sneak up to them and just paddle real quiet and slow because it's fairly dark down here on the water. And if I could put them up. As I'm paddling away, another 3 or 4 buzz us. Connor's standing up now on his kayak because he wanted to watch over the bulrushes at me going at him. And he takes a shot standing up in his kayak. No issues at all. I said, were you standing up? He goes, oh, I guess I was. Didn't have a problem.
So now he wasn't even thinking about it.
I'm confident now. We get these things. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm going to go put in best investment. Not only can you fish, but now you can go hunting. And then he was grabbing bulrushes and sticking them around on the front of his and beside him. And I mean, they make a blind cover that you can put over that has the straps to brush it in, but I don't even know if I need that. I was just hiding in the bulrushes. So now we know where to sit. We just got to get back out there again. And I'm going to drop in once all these ponds freeze up and the only thing left open is the running water of the creek tributary that flows into the lake. We're going to drop in and just coast all the way whacking ducks as we go. Because they'll be living in those open water creeks. So I'm pretty pumped. It's so stable and it's just easy. I love it. Go buy a kayak.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is every time I go on a Facebook marketplace, there's one for sale and I just keep swiping. Yeah, way too many things on the go right now to put another kayak there. I sold off some stuff today and we're going to liquidate some more from the Thom property here and start to condense. So
you're getting rid of stuff?
Yeah, a few things. So I got a couple of things that need to go.
I hope you're not talking about Candace.
No, not a chance. No, she takes good care of me.
I saw the picture of the second car you added to your collection. Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And the one you're working on, saw those pictures. That's cool. And I was thinking about them today because I was out walking this afternoon. It was a beautiful day, and we've had some nice afternoons this week. And I thought, you know what? I got to put the car away within a week or two. And I should have been out driving this week. And I've been so busy that I haven't had it out since the car show the other night, and it's soon going to be put away. And I thought, nuts, I got to I got to get it out, go for another cruise before it goes away. But
did you get it out?
No, not today.
Not yet, eh?
Time, no.
Yeah.
But
yeah, well, that's the other thing I did last week is I put the boat away. It was a sad day, but it was one of those exciting days, sad days all at the same time because I had Hunter out there and he helped me every step of the way, and I taught him how to winterize the boat. So, kind of a proud dad moment that I could pass that activity on and show him that it's not all just catching fish and there's some work involved. And he was right there every step. So, yeah, winter's coming and there's just not enough weekends left to get out on the water again. So. That had to go away too. Time to get the stuff put away, guys.
So we've had a good week. We're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night, you and your son. Looking forward to the hunt Saturday morning. So,
yeah,
looking forward to getting down there and no pressure.
Nope,
no pressure.
Gonna be good.
I guess we'll see you tomorrow night, Bill.
All right, guys. Thanks for the chat.
Yeah, good talking.
And that'll do it for this week, folks. For the Redneck Country Podcast, I'm Bill, the Almost Guy Tom.
And I'm Todd. Thanks for listening. And folks, if you want to be part of the podcast or you want to give us some feedback or really contact us about anything, feel free to email us at podcast@theredneckcountry.com. Again, that's podcast@theredneckcountry.com. Thanks for listening. Talk to you again next week.